Well, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited to have you. Let's go ahead and start with who you are and what you do.
My name is Jess J. Killam, and I'm a dancer, entrepreneur, self-hustler, and I used to be a videographer, photographer, I used to do all that, and now I just do my artistry, and I also do erotic audios on Quinn, and I just have fun.
I love that. You can never go wrong having fun.
Yeah.
Erotic audios on Quinn, what does that mean?
There's like an app that you can listen to voice actors that read stories, basically.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Basically talking through it.
Okay, nice. That's super fun.
Yeah, that's fun, yeah.
Because do you do acting also?
I would love to. I haven't. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I feel like acting is an interesting field to get into out here. It's like a lot of networking and right place, right time kind of thing. But you're a dancer, which I love. How did you get into that?
Because I was doing video and photography in the club out here for a long time, and then I just started seeing my one friend, Kels, shout out to Kels, is my other dancer partner, and she was out here just doing like little go-go gigs at clubs that I was filming at, and I'd be like, that's so cool, and I started just to see that like there's no like people that look like me that do it, and there's like this part of me that loved dance as a kid, and I grew up with a lot of Asians, and like I was in little dance crews, and like like bopping around. My sister's a big like, professional dancer, but I never thought I would be like in that field. But eventually, I think I just started reaching out to the club that had an opening for that because Kel stopped dancing there, so I was like, let me see if I can do it. And I tried a couple times, and I had a few videos from that, and then I think it just started to blow up from there because I just realized how much of a gap there was. So.
Whoa! Oh, that's wild. So you didn't like grow up taking dance classes or anything?
No, I just watched my sister do it.
Oh, how funny! So was your whole family shocked when you ended up becoming? Oh my gosh, how wild!
Yeah, my dad's like, what kind of dance are you good at? He can't even look at my stuff now.
Really? Yeah, my parents can't either. I get it.
I bet,
yeah, my poor brother, like, he follows me and he's in my close friends and everything, and he's like, yeah, sometimes I'm really scared to open your story, and I just tap really fast.
That's how my sister feels.
Yeah. You know, I love keeping my family a little on their toes, though.
Yeah. It's a black sheep. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So you're also white and Asian, but you're Japanese,
I'm Italian.
An Italian. Are your parents both born and raised here, or were they born?
My mom was born in Japan.
Oh, your mom is the Asian one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How was that for you growing up?
It was cool. I mean, I didn't really feel so Asian, I guess, because I was so white presenting. My sister got all the genes. So then, like, I'm growing up looking like this little white kid, and I'm telling people I'm Japanese, and like, no, you're not. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not. So, I don't know, I just felt like the white kid in the Asian group, or like just in general, and I never really felt in touch with it until I actually went to Japan, and I met like all my family, and I have like at least 30 relatives out there that we all got to meet and sit down with, and I got to see grave sites, fill in family trees, like, it's real as fuck, you know, and it's cool to finally see that and put those things together. But that was in 2016 when I was already out of college, so.
Oh shit, okay.
It took me a long time to really like fully feel it, I guess, but it's always been there. My dad's side of the family, like the great-grandparents were born in Sicily, so.
Oh, okay. Great-great-parents, so he was born here.
Yeah, well, Philly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you been to Italy also, or?
No, not yet.
Okay. Yeah, do you feel like you connect more with the Italian side even though you don't? Okay.
I love my Asian food. I love
really?
culture. I love it, yeah.
So you like really take the Asian vibe.
Absolutely, yeah.
Does your sister also?
Yeah.
Really? How funny. Me and my brother are the same where I got like more of the Asian genes and he got more of the white genes. He has like Asian pride, he's into anime, like loves all that stuff. I think he just got back from Japan.
Okay.
I'm the opposite though. I don't like my Asian culture. And when I went and I met everyone, I got super overwhelmed. And I was like, I don't identify with this. And I actually have like a lot of Asian American entertainers come onto the podcast, and I love talking to them and hearing their experience because I feel like we're like a fairly underrepresented group. And I guess in that I do like being Asian American, but I struggle with having like pride in the Asian side of my culture. But I think that comes a lot with like how I was raised. So with you and your mom, did you guys have a lot of tension or did you get along? How did she feel when you became a dancer?
No, we're cool. Nobody in my family is like weird. I think the only tension we've had is like when I came out, because I came out late, like 22.
Oh wow.
But she knew my whole life basically. She just tried to like suppress it and stuff because she was scared, she says, but I don't know. Yeah, so, but the Asian side, I mean, my grandma is completely full Japanese and everything, and she still has an accent, and she's about to be 90, and she's like born and raised everything, so she's like someone that we cherish a lot in our family, and she's like the glue for us. So that's like why I think we respect it the most, and it's so important for us. And just seeing how much my mom really respects me and loves me, that's like huge.
That's really cool. That's great. And does your grandma, is she out here in America or
She's in Iowa, yeah.
Iowa?
Yeah.
That's such a random
But
place.
she's a military wife. Well, you know, my dad or my grandfather died when I was like 1 or 2 years old. So
Oh wow. Okay.
she's been alone this whole time.
Oh no. Oh my
She
god.
loves it. She's
Oh, okay.
She's like, oh, my grandson.
Oh, that's great.
I know, she's chilling.
I love that. We just had an episode come out about how age isn't a factor and like people limit themselves because of their age.
Right.
And our last burlesque dancer who just her episode just came out, she's 50 and you would never guess. And she's like a mom and she's still doing it all the time.
I love that.
And it's so crazy and
Sorry.
I love it. Yeah, we have all these limitations and that's why I love bringing people on here because you realize like you don't have to. There's no reason for it.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So okay, so you didn't come out until you were 22. And so you were I remember you said you were femme presenting.
Yeah.
Wild. So did you always know that you were lesbian? You identify as lesbian?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I knew at age 6 and I felt it and I tried to tell my mom and then she like was so quiet for a while and I feel like that silence broke me because I was like, oh, this is not right, like I'm not supposed to do this. Because I always, part of me felt like it was just like wrong or something. And then I think she said it was okay, but I think that silence again like really just did something. So then eventually I just like tried to go to the closet, try to fit in, try to do those things, and then I dated men and all this stuff, and you know I just try to fit in with everybody and
Wow.
it worked out.
Yeah, that's like from 6 to 22. That's a long time.
Right. Yeah. It's all my high school, all my college, well, most of my college.
And you dated men. How was that?
That's
for you?
terrible.
Oh my god.
I was so brainwashed and thinking that like women having sex was supposed to just be for them. Like it was supposed to just be enjoyable for them, not for us. And it was like really traumatizing, you know, looking back. But these days I'm like, I'm good. But it took a long time to like fully heal from the inside about the mindset of it, the perspective, all the stuff. It took a long time.
Wow. Yeah, that is interesting. Like even in doing this podcast, I've realized from reading that we get crazy comments. Like I did not realize how much American men hate women. And the more I realized it, like I'm just shocked. I mean, obviously like, you know, it's just comments on TikTok, so it's like trolls and stuff. But it still blows my mind that our culture is so heavily rooted in patriarchy, which is a bummer, I think mostly because women have so much to offer.
Right.
And I almost feel like there's a gender war happening right now that is super unnecessary. So, do you have any brothers?
No.
Okay, so just a sister. So what was it that like, I guess gave you the courage to come out a second time?
It was just a realization with like a comment on my page. This one girl was flirting with me, and I just knew like I had feelings at a certain point because I kept like going back to her page and stuff, and I'm like, okay, like there's something there, and I said something to her, and I came up to her, and then it turned into a really long, abusive, long distance, and then moving across the country relationship that was so terrible. She took advantage of me. But you know, like I think every first lesbian relationship is trash. It was like a perfect stereotype for all the lesbians. I knew all, everything terrible about it, and yeah, it was great.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh no. One of my best friends, she's come on here a couple times, but she's a lesbian, and her first relationship was insane. I think her second was kind of insane too.
Yeah.
But it always like blows my mind because I don't know how you guys do it. Because that's 2 girls. That means twice as many periods, twice as many. Like I'm such a like little diva where like I like to be the dramatic one, you know. So like I always think like if I was with another like drama queen, I don't know how that would work.
Well, that's why like your personality it has to really make sense. Like you have to get extra picky about it because it's gotta make sense.
Oh my god. Do you find that you go for like femme presenting women, or do you go for like mask?
Yeah, I love femininity. I think it's so trendy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wild. We just do you know Miss Tosh? Okay, she's like an iconic burlesque dancer, so we just had her come on with her wife, Katrina, who's a little person, and they're so cute together. So it's so fun to see. I think like love is love. Like that's like an underrated expression. But it's so cool to see all these different relationships, and you see it a lot in Hollywood, I think.
Oh yeah.
And like not very much anywhere else. So many other places are so suppressed, and it's been interesting because I've had a couple reels come out about how you should be. I think you should be single in your 20s. I think it's a good time to, like date and maybe get in relationships. But I spent the majority of my 20s single, and it was such a great experience because you get time to figure out yourself. And I've realized that men don't like that comment.
Oh no.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They want like the young ones locked down before they figure themselves out.
And they love like preying on the younger ones too.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate. And a big reason why I think it's so important that as not women in our I don't know how old you are, but I'm not in my 20s. Okay, I think it's so important to help like younger girls understand that it's okay to like find yourself and figure it out. So as like a mask presenting female, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay. How is your relationship with men? Like how do you connect with them?
Not great.
Okay.
I mean, one, you have to rewire everything from what you've been through with stuff sexually and relationships and romantics and the trauma there, and then you have to find yourself in your masculinity and your own presentation in that, and like what that means for you outside of men, because a lot of younger baby gays, I think, go to them for the source instead of like finding women like me to find inspiration or like their own lane for that, and it takes a while. I don't think I was like truly confident until maybe like 28 or 29, so that was a good 7-8 years of just like figuring it out, kind of building who I am. And throughout that process and throughout life, I'm always, especially now when you're so confident and just so like yourself and being so vocal on stuff like this, and like my YouTube is based on lesbian topics. My whole life is based on helping the community. I have to talk about men a lot because it's like they're so invasive. They just have so much audacity to like to comment certain shit, especially when it comes to masculinity. Because I'm so big on and forward about pushing that and like really representing that. And they are constantly, especially I just got back on Facebook to promote my dancing, and the worst place to be when it comes to men. Oh my goodness, like they just feel so threatened.
Wow.
It took months to just get my page to get to the lesbian side because it was just always been like, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Like, just they get immediately so aggressive. They get immediately so violent. They get so life threatening to me. Like they go
God.
there. They go immediately to violence and just the worst type of comments you could ever think of. And when I had like girlfriends and I would post them, they would get so like I had this one girl I posted because I don't do that anymore. But when I did, this one girl I dated was very tall, like she was over 200 pounds, and she's mixed. So they felt extremely threatened by that, seeing how like that was mine for a minute, and you know, just like it's just anything I do, they just feel so angry and threatened about it. And so, you know, the show that we did, that was like so interesting to see all these men come up like, wow, I love you, I'm obsessed with you. And it's like, it's just like, you never know what the fuck they're gonna throw at you. You never know like what they're really thinking. Even in those moments, I'm like, do you wanna fuck me? Like, what is happening? Like, I just don't know what the energy is. And like, I feel like I'm constantly on edge and defending myself.
Oh
and
my
like,
God.
I feel like I constantly have to, either if I'm holding someone's hand, like I have to hold them tighter, I have to,
Wow.
like if I'm in a space that's mainly gay, straight guys, I have to just like, you know, stand stronger because they knock me over like I'm a little boy and they like treat me like a little man and like, it's like you're just constantly shifting and it's exhausting.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I just think when men see masculinity so strongly in a woman and they can't wrap their head around it, they get so, there's something in them feels so insecure, I think, and they feel like it's taken from them, and it's like, first of all, we can have the same identity and exist in the world, and we also don't need you for inspiration. Like, you don't. If anything, you guys need us. I don't know. Just throwing it out there, like. But it's like when I first came out and I started seeing this side of it. I started being so passionate about it for a while, and then I started to just like be like whatever, you know, and like even with just being called a boy all the time, it's like if you think I'm a man, go ahead. Like, I don't really fight anymore. Like there's no like true fire in me. It's just like it's funny, it's entertaining, and if I engage with it, it's just because I'm just bored. You know?
Oh my God.
Let's go. What do you want to argue about? I'll rip you into a asshole every single time. I don't know. I just like if they want to, like I'll do that all day long. It's fun and entertaining for me because they really think that they have like power over it.
Right.
They think they have like this superiority complex, and it's like you're a man.
Yeah.
What's so special? I don't understand. Like, you know. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's so fun. Yeah.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
But you know, I get it. Like weirdly, like I think on my end, being a model and being in a very, I guess, like feminine kind of space where like you're like overly sexualized. We also deal with so much of that, and it's like there's no winning, which is so crazy.
Yeah.
But it is interesting sometimes, like digging into the comments and going back at them. You realize like a lot of these people are so close-minded, or have no education, or have never experienced anything, and it's really sad, honestly.
Yeah.
And I just think the whole world needs to like move past these small-minded ideas and just experience more life. You know, a lot of people are so afraid of experiencing life, and that's where I really have to give you props, because you've, you know, even with your family being nervous about your mom's response, like you still went out and did what you needed to do, became who you needed to be, and that's really important. And I feel like, I don't know if you've seen this at all, but I feel like it's usually the ones who are most aggressive are the ones who are like secretly jealous or holding on to something or not experiencing themselves in the way that they want to.
Yeah, it's projection.
Yeah, which is also really sad. Like, I think people like us have won because we actually experience life the way we want to.
Oh yeah.
It's just so unfortunate that there's so much negativity.
That's what they envy.
Yeah. Definitely. I've heard you talk about on your story how, you know, like you have, I don't remember the exact wording, but like the mission and the cause is that, like, you know, or what do you feel like your purpose is? To just
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think I really love that masculine women can exist and lesbians can exist and women who love women can exist, and like we can create our own lanes and purpose, and just like a lot of us are artists and just really beautiful people. So it's always for me just been like representing the gay culture in a really good light and making sure that we have our voices heard, and like especially women of color, like people who are, and like lesbians of color who are just like at the very bottom of the barrel. Like I really feel so much passion for making us feel seen, heard, and just respected in the world, because you know people think we're a joke, and it's just like important for me because that's my circle, that's my friends, that's my life, and they're the most talented, strong, you know, amazing people that I've ever met. So originally when I did video, that was my purpose, was to just like put their businesses out there and make them look amazing and make sure they get a lot of business, and like that was my biggest purpose with that. And then I think now with dance, it's nice to inspire younger masculine women and just like people who are masculine that want that confidence to do someone, or to have a better dance with their partner, or to go on stage maybe one day, and to just pave ways. But my bio, I always say like I want to just show the world who the fuck we are, and because at the end of the day, like we're still the bottom of everything. Like nobody really gives a fuck about us, even gay men. Like we're just so like I just pushed under the rug, I think, and people just don't want us to really be shown in the world. And I would love to see us more on TV, represented more in media, like on news and just like things like this. Like I just want more exposure to that, so that way people in the world don't think we're just such a little joke. You know, it's like it's like another round of that. I think it happens, you know, every cycle of our generations, but I think this one's most important because of what's in office right now and all the things going on. So
right,
yeah, it's really
definitely. Yeah, it seemed like for a while we were making strides forward, and then just suddenly such a strong. Yeah, it's really, really wild. Have you seen the new Netflix show Manosphere by Lee
I don't know if I can watch it.
Okay.
Rage bait the fuck out of me. Like, I get so upset.
It was really. I had been on that podcast because I used to live in Miami, but I didn't know anything about it when I had gone on it. So watching it was a lot. Like it was actually way more triggering than I thought it was. I thought it would be funny, honestly, because I've met these guys too. It was actually like it was pretty hard to watch. Yeah, so it's really it's an interesting time that we live in, and that's another reason why I was so excited. I was like, I have to get her on here because, you know, I feel like you do really represent just a woman who's chosen to, again, be who you are and like stand strong in that. And regardless of like sexuality or how you present or anything, like we do need more women who just stand strong in who they are. And a lot of the women that I've had come on here, who are all very strong women, all performers, like a lot of us come from a lot of abuse too, which is really sad. You know, it's sad. And I think that's why too, sometimes reading these comments about how, you know, these 20, 22, 21-year-old women need to be snatched up before they are corrupted or polluted. It just really is upsetting to me because I used to be like that. And that was when I went through the most abuse. And so it's really crazy because, you know, I think too, I don't know if you ever watch like older movies or movies about like artists when they were growing up and stuff, but something that I've noticed is that almost every single one of these movies start where this really famous person starts in a family of abuse, where the dad is, you know, just yelling and screaming or whatever. And I think that's one beautiful thing about this technology era, even though it's a little scary, I think because social media is so big, I do think it kind of, more people are speaking out and more people are learning quicker that if they're in an abusive situation, it's not right and they can get out. And that's a huge part of like why I do this, is to help, you know, even though we get all the bad comments from men, one, if like men can start changing their mind, that would be awesome. If that will ever happen, who knows, probably not. But, you know, for the one girl who swipes through and like never says anything, never likes it, never sees the video again, but just realizes like, oh, there's other women who have gone through and like become stronger and found themselves and don't live under this. And like, don't get me wrong, I love men, but I just think we have lost the beauty of like what it could be for men and women to coexist, and it's really, really unfortunate and really sad.
Yeah.
So for you, how long have you been dancing for?
I think professionally like 4 years.
Okay, cool. And so does that mean you only like realized you had a passion for it 4 years ago, or did you realize sooner and you just didn't go pro till later?
I'm actually gonna post a video probably today. I have one of my first ever dance clips of me dancing to the Jabberwockies.
Yeah.
For when they won America's Best Dance Crew, and I was back in the day in 2008. I remember watching that like, oh, they're so cool, like, and I just slowed the video down. I learned the whole thing, and then we had Halloween, and my dad's birthday was on Halloween, so we had people come over, and I was like, I want to perform. I was like, that was my costume too, so
Oh my
I did the
gosh,
whole thing, and
that's
like,
awesome.
that was like my first time like feeling what it's like to perform and like that energy. And looking back, I'm like, I did so good for like not even knowing how to do any of that.
Right.
And
how old were you when you did that?
I don't even know. I was young. I was like early, maybe like 13, 14, 15,
Okay.
down there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then going to high school and going into certain things, like like I said, my Asian friends were all dancers, and they would do these little like dance crew things. We had like a talent show in high school that we won, and
Oh, nice.
like even at their family parties, they would have like dance crew, like they would do a whole dance crew thing, and they would dance circles. Like it was always centered around that, so it was fun to do that. I just never felt like fully connected in that, and then I think I just kind of stepped back when I got into video and personal training and stuff. So yeah, getting back out here, I had to like unsurface all of that and get back into that. So yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, because you know, I obviously saw you dance at the play. Super talented. Thank you. But it was really cool to see, like you very clearly are like meant to do this. Like you're meant to be on stage, and you have like such a strong aura and presence. And even after seeing everybody come up to you and seeing all the men come up to you, that was literally the first time in my life that I've had so many men ignore me and like look past me.
I didn't think they were coming for me. I'm like, what are you talking about?
That was so crazy. It was great though. Like I enjoyed watching it. Where was I going with that? But yeah, like, because I know too, and I see this with a lot of performers, there's always, like, you can always tell when kids are meant to be performers and when it's just in their blood that they will be one day. So obviously, like, you had that, but you didn't pursue it for a long time. And being a performer now, like, do you feel that was another part of yourself that you were repressing for a long time? Or you just didn't realize?
I think I wasn't really suited for the front of the camera yet. I think I was like, all the behind the scenes stuff I was so into. I was like, I loved editing, I loved doing the filming, I loved like doing all that. And it's like looking back is so interesting seeing, because there was like things that I did that I enjoyed that was like, it led me to this point. And like I even did interviews back in the day in the halls in high school, and I was like doing a video. And then now, for these past like 10 years, I was doing interviews at lesbian events, and it's like I did the talent show and I loved it, but then I stopped, and then now I did a play talent show. You know, I don't know, it's just like full circle moments, and it's so interesting to see how, you know, when you do stuff when you're younger, you don't think it's gonna matter later. It's just an experience, but like sometimes those are like little stepping stones to get you ready for something bigger in the future. And it really did help a lot having those experiences and being around those people when I was younger. So yeah, it's cool. I think it all matters at the time when all those things did happen. Yeah.
And so I never would have guessed that you were like at one point a behind the scenes person, which is wild.
Yeah.
But you loved, I mean, And I can see with your social media, obviously you have a lot of work that goes into your videos, so you must love it. But do you find you have like kind of like an equal love for being in front and behind the camera? Or
no, I think now I'm just like, I don't even want to touch a camera.
Okay.
It's definitely transferred over because I was doing that for 17 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like weddings, like everything you can think of.
Wow.
And I still do it. I'd just rather not because this is not as fun. It's like you have so much homework with it. It's like you film it and you're like, okay, now I gotta go and I gotta sit there for hours and hours just to make it look good. And it's too much. And I think nowadays people don't have the attention span to look at stuff. People don't even value content like that the same. And I've watched that shift these past few years and I'm like, let me just shift what I'm doing because it only makes sense. And it's so much easier to just practice before, do the thing, and then you go on and you're good. You can rest, like, and you can reward yourself, you can feel really good about it, and then the benefits come a lot faster from that, and then the editing the stuff is second nature, obviously, from all that, so you can just be like, you have that footage, I'm gonna use that, put something together, and I know what catches attention, so it's easy to just make some little content here and there, and that's really what helped push my career really fast because of that knowledge. So again, it goes back to that, what I was saying, like, I had all these years of editing, not thinking that it's gonna really, and it really does help for what I do now, for sure.
Yeah.
So I didn't, like my dance partner, Kels, doesn't edit, so like she doesn't have that same, like, taste of, like, putting what she puts out there. Like, she does stuff, but, like, everybody I see that is a dancer, sometimes it's like they don't have that extra layer to like use the content and really know how to put it out there. And I tell dancers like that are coming up all the time, like, you gotta put your stuff out there. You can't just do a little TikTok, you can't do like a little private page, like you gotta be forward, straight up, really clear video, make sure people see what you're doing, and also put a mission out there. So this is like it's a whole thing.
Damn, yeah, that's like a perfect packaging of like how to be successful in the industry.
Yeah, I do it all the time. That's what they're asking me, and it's like it starts with the content. It starts with having evidence that you can actually do it. Because if you're pitching yourself, people want to see what you got, and they also want to see the engagement with what you got. They want to see that it's worth it, So,
yeah, that makes sense. I am just restarting my company. I had a company before quarantine, and we did 4 shows a week. And we were deep in the rock and roll scene. So we performed at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, and then we had an after hours club. And it was just like the most like misogynistic, rock and roll, red mohawk kind of like after hours spot in the world. It was ridiculous, but a little bit great also. And because we were like such strong, intense women, because we all love to dance and we were all fighting to be there and we were at the start of our careers and wanted to like make something happen. We put them in their place really fast, which was really cool to see because when we started, the dancers they had before were all hookers. So they assumed that was our role. And we were like, no, we're performers. And then we ended up breaking up like aerial silks and layer hoops in this place, and we do fire, and it's like 3 a.m. So they came to really respect us. And by the time, the club had to shut down because of quarantine, they were so respectful. And like, I never had to lecture anyone because the whole crowd would lecture people. If like a newcomer came, if they treated us wrong or said something wrong, everyone would lecture them and they'd be like, you don't talk to them like that. So they can learn. It's possible. But it is interesting because now that I'm restarting it and I've brought on some girls to start working with me, we're not like getting paid very much. So it's like I'm kind of starting at like the girls I would love to have join on. I'm like, I know your rate. I won't ask you until I can afford you. So these girls, they're kind of newer with their or they just don't have any marketing. So we got a gig recently, and like they know me, so it's easy. But they were like, can you send me the Instagrams of your other girls? And I'm looking through their pages and I'm like, guys, you haven't posted in like 2 years. I have nothing to show that. Like, I know how amazing you are, but like, it is important, so important to market yourself. Like, you have to.
And update it.
I was like scrolling through, I was like, okay, 2021. So we're going to be working on that as a team, rebranding all of them to kind of get them up to par. But definitely marketing is a huge thing. So it sounds like for you that was like just a really natural, like, that's great. I feel like you kind of started on the back end, so when you came to the front end, you were just able to.
It felt like that. I think that's why I had imposter syndrome for a minute.
Oh, interesting.
Because I'm like, I know how to market myself so well that I'm like, I hope I can also provide that same image when it comes to it. I honestly wasn't there for a minute, so I think, and then I was like, let me go to dance classes, let me like start taking this serious. So then I started doing the inner work and like really trying to make sure that it aligns all the way through. So yeah.
I mean, I didn't see when you started, but I saw you on stage, and I think presence goes a long way, which you definitely have. So that's really cool to see. Have you since performed or like worked with the play at all?
I went to their last party.
Okay, right. That was the one where you had all the teachers. Did you teach at that?
Yeah, I taught a lap dance class.
Oh, cool. How did that go?
It won apparently.
Oh,
yeah, it was so cool. Like they voted, and it was their favorite. It was honestly my favorite class I've ever taught so far. Like in general, like I had like maybe the size of this room to work with, and it was like at first it was like okay, cool. I got like 10 people and some couples, and had a good amount of chairs, and then I'm like, oh shit! Like everybody started filing in, and it was so packed in there. And it was so hot already because they had 2 classes before mine. So like it was just a lot. And then I had a little boombox, and I'm like, I didn't really have like a format. I'm like, let me just like start off how I normally just start stretching, do the whole thing, and then I just had a lot of couples. So I'm like, everybody pair up. Let's try like a little drill. Let's start warming it up, and then things started picking up. Like this one couple, really thick. The girl sat on a whole chair like folded in half. And everybody was like, oh my god! And then she kept going. We're like, yeah, and cheering it on. And like the energy is just really, really high. It was nice. Everybody's getting really intimate. And then I separated it for a minute. Had like everybody like a few couples demonstrate in front of everybody. And I told them to slow it down. And we just started like getting really into it. We were just all watching like this is hot. And it was really fun to watch. And then we finished a little bit and. Yeah, I just high-fived everybody, like, the energy was so high, and everybody was, like, just had a ball, and they just kept praising it, and I had a lot of people come up after, like, oh my god, it was so funny having, like, in real life, like, outside of this, and so, yeah, it was really amazing, it was really fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've since had a couple of people from that I've met, at least through the play, come on, like, Ariel, the production manager, and then I don't know if you know, she goes by Stevie Needs. Did you happen to meet her? Okay. She was at the Play Got Talent. She weirdly has ended up, so ever since doing that competition show, all these people just keep popping up in my life. Like no matter where I go, they're ending up at my shows. Like I was doing a show that I've done for years. And these 2 couples in the front row were like, Alyssa, we saw you at the play. Yeah. We also saw you at Kinky Comedy. We're here again. And I just keep running into these people everywhere. It's huge. I had no idea how big it was. Yeah. And now I can't get away from it. So yeah, it's really funny. And it's wild because I'm monogamous, like very strong. Like I experimented, which is why I can say I'm monogamous, because I tried being open or being poly and realized like, okay, this is not for me. But I'm always so fascinated by people who are poly, because it's just, I feel like it really is just kind of the way you're made or how you were raised, and it just kind of is who you are a lot of the time. So it's been really interesting having them come on and like listening to their stories. Like Stevie is married to a man, and they have 2 kids, and they have a girlfriend who lives with them, but they're not a throuple, and they date her separately, and then they have all of their other boyfriends and girls, and it just like blows my mind. But you also identify as poly. So was that another thing that like when you, or how did you discover that for yourself?
Well, I wasn't always here at all. I was monogamous most of my 20s. And about 28, I met a girl. Well, I was like manifesting that for me because one, I realized that my attachment style was like really intense. Like I was getting really jealous. I just didn't like how anxiously attached I was with people, and like they wouldn't text me back fast enough, like just stupid stuff. And I just really wanted to feel independent and secure, and like I didn't need other people to like validate that for me. And I just kept saying that because I was in these situationships and these things that were just making like not aligning, and it was not fun. And I've always been very openly sexual and stuff, and I think as I build my dance career and my brand, it's been more about that. And I met someone, I think through that manifestation, who was already poly and was dating someone, so then I was like, okay, like let me see what this is about. And then I eventually started getting more serious with them, and while they were dating that person and while they were dating other people, and I'm trying as well, like while that's happening, but I was like really invested in that, and then eventually that ended up being shit. And it was a terrible ending. It was so ridiculous.
That sounds stressful to me.
Yeah. And then there's also sexuality that plays into that. So it's just a lot of stuff. But because I just love lesbians, so it was tough for me. And then when you get older in your gayness, it's like a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense to entertain. So, you know, I just, once I got over that, I was like, okay, now I can make this my own and really enjoy this how I want and really like fully invest into it. Because there was a part of me that was like, am I really about this? Like, because that was not the best experience, you know.
Right.
So some people would just be like, fuck that, but
Yeah.
I still wanted to try it on my own, and I think ever since then, which has been like 2 years now, so it's been like almost a total of 4 years. I've been like really been able to make it my own and adventure into that and see how I feel in all experiences. And so far, I'm good. I'm chilling. I feel like I've really developed it pretty well. And I think the only way it works successfully is if you're really strong in what you have and like who you are, and what you want, and have your boundaries high.
Right.
Because if you're wavering, people are gonna be like, well, you know.
Right.
And when I was dating that person, they were wavering the whole time. So it made me feel like, is this how it's supposed to be? Like, are you even poly? Like, I even questioned them at the end because it didn't make any sense. Like, you're claiming this and you're preaching about it online, but your actions aren't aligning. Because at the end of the day, if you're saying you love multiple people at the same time, things shouldn't shift. Like, you should still have that security with everybody. And that starts with you being secure, you know. So she wasn't, and I think seeing that example really helped me be more secure in what I do and how I operate in this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, was it like after having your first experience be a bad experience, you still decided to continue on with it?
Yeah.
Was that because you found it did help your attachment style? And Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I like to go into things head first to see how I feel, like even with like diets or training or whatever, like I just like throw myself in there because I don't want to accept that about myself until I fully try everything, and then I can be like, okay. But I didn't like that, and after that I felt myself totally shift. So now I'm on the other end of it. Now I'm like, people are like, you're not texting me back, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be this person, so I have a good balance of it. I'm not like totally an asshole like how she was. So it's like a good balance from both ends, but it does make me feel so good to just be able to do what I do, no matter what, and no matter who's in or out. Like I'm still gonna be fine. Like I'm solid, because I was so solo most of my life, and when you put a lot of value on other people and their opinions and their responses and everything, it makes you feel insecure, and it makes you feel like you don't know at all times, you know. So eventually, when I got to this knowing through those tough experiences, it really helps me like have this security, and I feel good now.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really important, I think.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, so me and my whole aerial team, there's probably like 7 to 10 of us or so. We all say how we're so good at what we do because of our mental health issues. And all of us have like crippling anxiety.
Oh my god.
And that's why we're fantastic at our job, because you know, when you're spinning upside down in the air 3 stories high, and you could literally die at any second if you like let go or forget what you're doing or fuck up. There's no room for it. You're so locked in that you can't think about anything else, and your anxiety is gone because, I mean, you really should be more anxious, but for some reason we feel like the most at peace in this situation. So we all joke, and then we train obsessed, like, for fun, when we need to like relax, we go and do like backflips, you know, that's like our mellow out. So all of us are like a little psychotic, you know. But we all have really bad anxiety. And I've noticed with a lot of performers, like they tend to have anxiety, which I think is something about, I don't quite know what the link is there, but do you find that's something that you struggle with also?
Yeah. For the first few years, it was really bad. But I think that was another thing. It was a challenge for me. Like, I didn't want to accept that about myself. Like, I didn't want to always feel anxious going on stage. And being around a lot of dance groups when I was starting and being around other dancers, I would notice that too. And then it would rub off on me. And then I would like if I didn't have what I had now, like back then I was anxious all the time. So then it would show up in my dance. It would show up in me like. Because I'm having intimate moments with women, and like you can't be like this, like, and I was, and I'm like, I look back at the footage, and my hands were shaking.
Oh my God.
I remember I had this one performance in Florida, and I was like, I had a lollipop, and I'm like holding it, and I was like, I've had a lot of moments where I've like not fallen, but like there was like things where I'm not thinking things through as like weight balance and stuff, and like accidents happen, but. And I've had like a really big performance in my early stages in Boston at the House of Blues, like the big room, and
oh shit!
I was on one of the biggest stages, and I literally like didn't know what to do beforehand. I had to like lock myself in the bathroom and breathe really hard because I was just like having a panic attack.
Oh my God!
But I think through that I dedicated more time into breathing and meditation and controlling that, and like. Because that's the next level of anxiety, and like I learned that even through my ex, who did like preached all day long that she's this like healer, sound healer, and you know, meditation guru, and then just wouldn't show that in other areas, and it would just not make sense to me because it's like, where is that now? You know, in the moments that matter. And to me, it's like if you're practicing all this stuff all the time. You should be able to have that tool for your leisure whenever it makes sense in your everyday. You shouldn't need to like use that right away or like start your day like that, or else it's not going to go well. Like you have to have this like structure within, and I think that's what this has helped with a lot. So now I'm doing like hot yoga, I'm doing like sound baths more, I'm doing meditation on my own or like practices with other people or like groups and stuff. And when you master breathing, I think that's the biggest tool for everybody in any field in any life, especially performing. Because when you're up there, like if you're not breathing, it's going to show. If you're not slowing down, it's going to show. If you're not structured, if you don't have a grounding part of yourself in your performance, it's going to show. And I don't like watching anxious performers. I'm not going to lie, it makes me anxious. And I like to see someone that has such a confidence and structure within that. You could just tell that they're good. Like they're confident, they know what they're doing. Even if they mess up, you'll never know. Like it's just one of those things that I aspire and I love watching. And I wouldn't say I'm fully there, and I definitely have my moments, but I think I'm definitely a lot better these days.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's so interesting. I feel like we have a lot of like similar things that we've been through, but take like our ways of dealing with it are total opposite. Like I am not a meditator. I can't meditate. I like sit there and like, okay, I'm done. Like I can't handle it. And my way of calming down is I gotta go like, you know, punch some bags or like again do some backflips and like just total opposite. But I kind of like do it so much and so intensely that I get so tired that later, like when I have to deal with problems, I'm like, I don't care. I'm so tired now that I'm so chill and mellow by the time I like finally worn myself out. But it's interesting that you say that because, you know, I think that the interesting thing about being a dancer, especially in more like the burlesque scene, or I don't know what you call your everything. Like Ariel, for example, is really structured. very small room for like, I mean, you can improv, but like the tricks are the tricks. You can't rap differently or you're dead, you know? Whereas like with burlesque, I don't know about you, I never choreograph. Everything is always improv for me. There might be some structure to it, but it's always improv. So I find that when I'm performing, I'm always, like it's actually like a very intense mental exercise for me too, where I'm trying to, like, I'm overthinking like where everything is, making sure I'm not hitting anything, making sure that like I'm in a space where I have enough space. And it's really like a mental exercise, which again calms me down.
Well, we have 2 different styles of dance. Like you're erratic and crazy, and I'm like, I mean, I can, but I definitely feel a little bit more mellow.
Right. Yeah. When I have to do like a slow dance, or I get hired for a very classic burlesque gig, that's when I have to breathe, and it's so hard for me. I'm like, take it off slowly. Like, it's just so opposite of like what I do. Although now that I'm getting older, part of me is like, why did I brand myself like this? Because some days I'm like, God, my back hurts. And I gotta throw a fucking flip, and I know they're like expecting like me to come out, and I'm like.
But maybe if you struggle, that like maybe taking classes might help. Like if you're in a room that forces you to do it, you know.
I really should. I see. That's where I actually get really bad anxiety. Like on stage. Yeah, probably. Honestly, I should. Yeah, like on stage, I don't really feel anxious. Like I just kind of black out, and I feel great, you know. But like in classes, especially in LA, like they're really scary. Yeah, like I've gone to like Playground and Millennium, and I just get so nervous because it's just so many moves to memorize.
I know, they're crazy.
Oh my god, yeah. And then like when they break you down into groups and like you feel like everyone's judging you. Like I know when I do a show, like majority of the people aren't performers, and even if they are, they're not like the type of performer that I am. Right. You know, I've got my own little niche and I've mastered it. But then when I'm doing somebody else's choreo, and like all these LA dancers are like so in sync, and I'm like, oh my god, you guys, we just learned this an hour ago.
But I think that's why I keep taking it, because I'm like, I think I can get it eventually. I just keep pushing myself, and like, there's times where I've walked out. But,
really?
Know, yeah, because some of them are like beginner, and I'm like, what? This is not beginner. This is crazy. That's also why I started making classes out here, because it's like I actually have a real beginner format. Because fuck that.
Yeah, well, I think there is like a need for that in LA, where we need legit beginner classes. You know, and classes where like dancing makes you feel good, and not like when I leave these dance classes, I'm like, wow, I should never be a performer in my whole life.
Literally, like if you don't, have the structure or the mental capacity for it, you'll get beat up. I definitely did in the beginning. But honestly, I like to push myself with things. Like when I first got out of that shitty relationship, that last one, the first thing I did was go to Playground. That's I don't even do that, and that was my first ever time. But I was like heartbroken, and I'm like, my success. Fucking like, I'm gonna show that bitch. Like, that's how I felt. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I relate to that. A lot of my career is all thanks to I'm divorced. I don't remember if I told you that, but yeah, I'm probably around the same age. Like really abusive marriage and just crazy. And I was like super good girl, missionary, Christian, whatever. And after our divorce, like dyed my hair blue, started taking my top off, and was like, fuck that, and just like lost it for a second. I've mellowed out now.
You gotta have some rebellion in face.
Yeah, my poor parents. They accept it now though. But breakups will do that, they really get you.
Oh yeah. Lesbian breakups are another level.
Oh my god. You know, I believe, again, my best friend being a lesbian, I'm just like,
ooh, girl.
Yeah.
This is not fun. It's not fun at all.
I feel like you seem like a really chill person. Do you get really dramatic in relationships, or?
only if it doesn't make sense. Like, if you're not making sense, I hate that shit. Please make sense. Like, you know, like, especially if we know each other and we've been doing this for years, like, all of a sudden you're just erratically making decisions, or you're just like, just doing something and gaslighting me to make me feel like I don't, like, oh my god, that drives me nuts, because I don't like to feel like I'm crazy. Like, don't make me feel like this right now. Like, there's no way, and I did all this with you, and we were so in love and shit. Like, ooh, that drives me nuts. I hate that shit. And then it's another woman that's like your best friend and shit. It's like, it's just another level of like, oh my god, you got me fucked up. I hate that shit so much, yeah. So.
That's wild.
Yeah, because, you know, like, I mean, I'm sure you know about, like, just having a good best friend as a girl, you know, like, having friends as girls. It's like, you know, it can get there sometimes as friends, and then imagine having the romance level on top of it, you know, and living together and stuff.
Oh my god.
It's a whole thing, yeah, so.
Oh my, yeah, even with my best friend, I thought, like, there was one point when she had construction going on in her apartment or whatever, and I almost offered for her to, like, stay here because this pulls out into a bed, and I was just like, our friendship will be destroyed. Like, I cannot. I value this too much. We'll figure it out. Man, that's wild though. So in, like, as being poly, have you found you've developed some sort of structure for managing, like, okay, yeah, because I, like, for me, one relationship already overwhelms me. So the thought of having, and I do have a tendency where if I am really intentional about certain people, I'm really good at getting back right away. But there's probably only like 3 people that I can like respond to immediately. Whereas like most people, it takes me like a while to get back to them, which is why the thought of being poly is like, how, like, they would all be mad at me, all the time. I would constantly be overwhelmed.
That's a lot, yeah. I think when you get into it and you're starting, like, if I started like that probably would have been more overwhelming, but when I saw the chaos from the jump with someone else through it, I'm like, okay, this is what I definitely don't want. Like, this is a good structure of what I don't want. And I think having that really kicked things off. So then I was like, okay, this is what I want, this is who I am, this is my boundaries. And I was able to develop that with people. But you have to also go into it with people that like respect it and like truly understand it and truly feel like they can manage that with you and like work with you. Because if you have people who have their own agenda and they have their own things, you haven't, like, it's not gonna work. So like, they have to be open-minded to a certain extent. They have to, like, even if they're not poly, because that's fine with me. It's just like, you gotta make it make sense on your end to be okay with what I got going on.
I see.
And like, again, if I was kind of like, well, I don't know, like, then they could walk all over me, you know? And they could so I really came in strong with like, no, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is how I work. And I guess like for like how I've been going these past 2 years, it's just been more about like, my stuff, my life, my artistry is first. You should know that about me. Like, relationships are second, and the way that I want people to show up with me, not only do you need to be cool with me being with other people, but you need to like be cool with the prioritization of how I move. And like, if you want to be someone that is more prioritizing my life, then you have to show up and show me that you deserve that. And yeah, I take a lot longer time. It does not happen overnight. Like, I'm taking years to get to know you. I'm taking years to develop this. And if people want to come in, you have to respect that. You have to respect our time. You have to show me, like, throughout every action. So it's like, it's not just like, okay, and then like I do it, and then you're like, wait, like, no, like, if you're saying that and I show you and it's actively happening, I need you to actively say what you said and do what you said. And so it takes a lot of back and forth. It takes a lot of communication. It takes a lot of patience on both ends. It takes a lot of understanding. But again, that's what I wanted, right? Like, that's what I was searching for, is like that next level of connection. And it's really beautiful when you get to that space. It just takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of patience.
I believe it. Like, even
so like now, like in everyday life, it's like little things with other people. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
You know, like, it's not that big, because it used to be such a big deal. Like, everything was had such an impact, and now I can just brush it off a lot easier. Yeah.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
It sounds like it definitely helped you work on that anxious attachment.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's wild though. I have noticed in working with so many people from the play, poly people, their communication style is just above and beyond,
Yeah.
which is nice because I'm never questioning things. Right. But then it also made me kind of realize like a little bit of my own lack, I guess, because I'm such a free-spirited, like I spend so much time by myself and I like it that way, and like very independent, and I used to travel a lot. I'm very self-sufficient. Yeah. So when all these poly people started texting me for like work stuff or whatever, I was just like, why are you talking to me so much? Like, I know when the day of the gig is. What else do we need to talk about? You know?
There's like I'm not honestly in the poly community that much.
Okay.
I'm like, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
It is very overly communicative sometimes. But then like I'm not like that. Like unless it needs to happen.
Right.
So.
That's good. Yeah. It's always fun to see how there really are so many different ways to do things, and it's like you said, finding the people who fit in your lane and in your zone. Because I have been in relationships with really bad communication, which is why I think the poly community fascinates me so much. Is because I do think, well, I've also seen some really toxic, unhealthy, which exists no matter one person, multiple people, like. But I do think, in general, there's a really heavy emphasis on communication and within that lifestyle, which I am a big talker, but I don't even know if I can talk that much.
Maybe I wouldn't even say it's the volume of the communication. I mean, maybe that's what you're experiencing, but I think it's the value of. What's up?
Actually, let me check the time really quickly.
But the level of it, it can matter. But again, like if you have that core knowing, I don't have to say much. You know, like I don't have to do all this extra explaining. I can just say what it is. And like again, it's just like it's clear. It makes sense. It doesn't have to do all this extra stuff. But it's. Yeah, I think the extra stuff might come from like the trying to cater to people who might not have that social within. So I've had to do a lot of like, you have a lot of feelings. Let me cater to your feelings and like make sure you feel, because me being so stern sometimes might come off like a little, you know.
Right.
And I've gotten that a lot lately, which is so interesting to me because I used to be so opposite. And it's like now that I'm so strong in it, it's just like if I say what it is, that's it. Like I'm not trying to bash you. I'm not trying to make you feel like anything. This is what it is. And I'm having that balance now. Like, okay, I'm a girl, you're a girl. Like, let me make sure we all feel good here. And so I don't mind doing that, but there is a limit to it, and I think that's really important.
Definitely. Yeah, I always tell people like I couldn't be a lesbian because I grew up with a brother, and I always got along well with guys, you know, and. I have had girl friendships. I can't do girl roommates because the couple of girl roommates I've had for a short time never goes well. And the number of times I've like accidentally made a girl cry, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, it's just ABC. I don't know why you're crying. Like, I had one girl roommate, and she really liked to talk in the morning, and I'm not a morning person. Like I know I can
talking in the morning.
Girl, it takes a lot out of me. Like I really, just because I know once I start my day, I'm gonna be able to like log in. But like it's only because I'm like performing.
Okay.
Otherwise, like it takes me to like 1 until I'm like social, you know. So like every morning, I wake up and I have to have coffee in the morning. And so I go and get coffee, and she'd come out of her room to talk to me, and they'd be like, oh no.
Yeah, that was my situation. She'd just be like,
wow.
Please.
Yeah, it's too much.
Give me at least an hour. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah. So then she thought I hated her because I didn't want to talk, and I was like, I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I can't talk in the morning. Oh god, I just remember her looking at me crying, and I was just like, and I never felt so much like a dude in my whole life. I was like, this is probably how they feel.
Right.
And I think I've even had dudes where like, because I'm emotional, and I think that's for me being raised by like an Asian dad where we weren't allowed to have emotions and it was like you have to shut everything down, which I'm trying to work on getting better at. So like even though I am emotional, I can like compartmentalize like too well and just shut things down and be like, okay, I'm not gonna deal with that right now. But sometimes I just don't know. I don't know how to handle it when people get really emotional with me.
Yeah.
Granted, I do get really emotional with people and then they don't know how to handle that either.
Yeah, girl. Yeah,
It's really weird. It's really weird.
I get it.
So do you find that like when like you get really emotional, is that like tricky to deal with, or are you just so like this is what it is and you like need your space after, or how do you kind of, or you like I gotta talk this out all the way through?
I think because I'm not so emotional forward like I used to be, I think people are kind of like, oh my god, like when I am. So when I'm actually like catered to more, which is nice, like when I actually cry or when I actually like get to that point.
Okay, yeah.
So I think it's like one of the lack thereof sometimes, like, but it's not, because I've had like people say nonchalant sometimes, I'm like, please, like, I know what nonchalant is day to day. It's just not protective, it's just like something that I built, you know, to make sure that I feel good and that they can feel good. And I'm not trying to be insensitive ever, and like, I think having that grounding energy for everybody makes sense, especially when I'm managing multiple people. Like, you just gotta have that energy of like, you can have your emotionals and I'll like, you know, cater to that and I'll make sure you feel good, we'll get to a good place. Because we're both like that and we're not getting anywhere, you know, so I just gotta be that one. And then, you know, I'll have my moments here and there and then they can make sure I feel good. And yeah, it's a balance. I don't think it's ever too much.
Do you find like being like mask presenting, do you really take on the qualities of being like masculine in the relationship and like, you know, I was actually really happy that you came on because we just had Miss Tosh on and she was saying how like as a lesbian and being married to a woman, she really acknowledges that she is taking on the role of being provider, protector to her wife. And so do you find that you take on like what we typically classify as being a man in the relationship? Do you take that really serious, or is there more of a balance because you're both women?
Yeah, it's a balance. I don't cater to that because if you're the masculine one trying to put yourself in a position from the jump, like you're fucking yourself. Like you're just gonna be locked in, because that's how I was for most of my relationships. I'm the driver, I'm the provider, I'm all these things, and I was exhausted. I was drained, and you put these girls in their soft girl era, and then they don't ever come out. It's like you need to step up too. You know, like we're both women, and I realized that I set it up like that from jump. You know, and now that I come into things these days, I still have the structure. Like, of course, I'm independent. I can do whatever all the time, but I'm not coming in like, you know, I'm gonna take you out, I'm gonna do all these things. I'm waiting for you to say what you got going on. So like, you wanna take me out? Let's go. Like, and when I first started shifting and I started having little sugar moms, I'm like, oh, this is nice. Like, they're taking me out to nice dinners and like giving me flowers and everything. And I'm like, wow, I love this. And I started to really fall in love with it. And then I started getting really, really like soft in my chill era where I was just like, what are we doing? What do you got? So I would just, but now that I have like, I've had both ends like fully, now I can have good balance and finding people with the same balance, it makes sense. So I love feminine women who have a good masculine energy to them that just are like masculine dominant in their own ways, that like they get the shit done, or they make plans, they know how to, you know, talk to people that I don't want to talk to and handle problems I don't want to handle, and like, you know, help me through my problems and motivate me when I need it. And yeah, so I really lean into that, and I find that way more attractive these days. So we find women that are really powerful in those ways, because we both need to do this. This is a team effort, and yeah, so I don't ever put myself in those positions ever again. And yeah, I was drained.
So then, question of curiosity, as like an outsider, to like man and woman relationships, do you think that those relationships should also run like that, or do you think really?
Oh yeah, what the fuck? We're in a whole new era of like the world, and like, I mean, obviously, I don't know. It's complicated because like I've dated bisexual women, I've seen that, we deal with that a lot in our community, and a lot of the times women that are like that, they're like, I want to go back to men because it's easier, and like I just talked about some of those other podcasts I was on because it's like they think we're biphobic, but it's like when you see it in real time, when you're on the other end of it, and they're like, I'm leaving you because it's too much, and like they make you feel like your emotions are too much, and they'd rather go back to men because it's easier because they don't nitpick and they don't, you know, and like whether even though they know it's boring and it's whack and they're not gonna be fully fulfilled, they'd rather be in something to chill. Like they'd rather be in something where they have their bills paid and like they're not thinking about where the next meal is coming from. Like they just rather have that life where they don't have to work too much. And yeah, I don't know. It's just it's like as a man and like watching monogamous straight couples these days, it's like you should be obviously stepping up, but also like I think women also need to do the same thing, no matter what. And women all the time preach, I want to be independent, so do it. You know, like fucking, you want this life, but then you also gotta do it in the same.
Right.
And I feel like no matter what, most straight people are always uncomfortable and stressed, and like they have this weird energy balance with that, like because society's like, men need to take care of us, and men need to do this, and then like they do that, and then they're like, but like, I just want my own life. I want to feel.
Yeah.
And it's like you are doing this to each other. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, like when we set it up like that, you know, from the jump as women, it's just gonna balance way better because we both have the ability to show up as we are and have the ability to evolve no matter what. There's no like societal pressure or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I'm excited to see how the reactions are to that on the internet.
Bring it out, but whatever.
No, I love it though because you know, in my past relationships, being an achiever is like my top trait. You know, I can't having the Asian dad over me all the time. It just really like, and I actually love achieving. I love making money. I love creating. You know, and I love having my own life and being independent, and I'm a very don't tell me what to do, you know, which has been almost a challenge in relationships because I tend to end up in these relationships with men where I become the masculine and I'm the one providing and supporting and doing all the things, which is very common with a lot of the girls I hang out with too, because we're all such go-getters, but we're still very soft and nurturers and feminine and stuff. And I think there is kind of an era where men have been becoming softer and more lazy almost.
But that's my point, is like, y'all want that, right? That's what you want. You want men to, and then they do it, and then it's like now, you know, and it's just like, I feel like it's constantly going to be an issue.
It really is like a hard balance. Like, even at this gig that we were at, there were 3 girls of us, and we had to like carry my giant pole back to the car, and I looked around to see like what guys could help, and it was a bunch of like, you know, influencer boys, and I was like, dude, most of these guys look like they haven't lifted a fucking thing in their life, and I was like, I think we're way stronger than all of them. Which, to be fair, we did, as we were struggling in our heels, like carrying these massive like plates back to the car.
They're heavy as well.
It was so heavy, but we did have some men come, and like one guy, there was 2 of us carrying it, and he picked it up by himself and like carried it all the way back. I know, it's like, it's there. But I think it does need to be a balance, because I don't want to be the man in a relationship for sure. But also like, I've tried so hard to be like the soft, feminine, like let a man do everything for me. It is so hard for me, and I get bored, like you said, and I can't.
Well, you shouldn't want to try to get there.
No.
You know, I think it's gonna have to be balanced no matter what.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think women strive for that to have an easier life, and then they get work.
Right. Yeah, that's the beauty
So
of
then I
it.
either get the women that leave for that, or they come for that because they're like, I was bored in my house. This looks so fun. You're a girl. Wow. You know, it's like you just are always on this other end of things. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Have you had women come to you that have never been with other women and never been with?
Days.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that would be stressful.
I gave one person a chance recently. She it just ended so abruptly while she was on top of me naked. And you know, it's like when you have a sexual realization in the middle of it. You know, and I'm this far in the game.
Oh no.
Like it just that's where I really start to get fed up because it's like you try.
Oh.
And like when it bites you in the ass like that, it's not only embarrassing, but it's just like the universe is laughing because it's like, what are you doing? Like you know better. And you know, I don't know. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and it just always never works. So
Right.
that's why you'll hear a lot of older lesbians, especially masculine ones that are way in the game, like, good luck, you know, you try to have fun with that. Because we all know, like, you know, we've been there and like hundreds of times, and it just continues to show the same result every single time. So, you know, the proof is in the pudding. We're not gonna keep like that's for the younger ones that want to figure it out. You know, go do that because that's what I say to those people that want to try anyways. Like if you are younger and you have the energy for it and you don't have any experience, yeah, that's the people you want to try out. Start there.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, okay, on that note.
It's a great note then.
I was like, should I go on for another topic or? Well, though, do you have any like closing out thoughts that you want to?
Well, it seems like the theme of this was relationship dynamics and experimenting and sexuality and stuff. And overall, if you don't know, you know, find other people that don't know, or find people that are willing to work with you if you don't know, and be upfront about that, and just be real about your journey at the current moment, and start with that. Don't go into things thinking they could change. Don't think you can go into things you can change people. Like just go into things with people as they are, show up as you are, and if you don't know, be honest. And that's how I come with people with like the stronger knowing, you know, like come with that as well. If you have boundaries, if you have a structure, only get into relations with people that also respect that and truly show you that they respect that, not just say it in the beginning. Like show it and show me over time, and you know, and work on yourself in ways that like you might see like that might be lacking a little bit. So like if you have anxiety, maybe go to meditation class, and maybe go to yoga, and like if you feel that you want to start performing, you know, start posting yourself and start getting out there and start doing the work that it takes to be in front, because just being in front of a camera is not being in front of 100 people, and you're gonna have to start somewhere. So the confidence, the structure, it all matters, and building yourself. Every learning experience is never for nothing. Like you hear my story, all those things I did were all to lead me to this point. So it all matters, and it really pays off to work on yourself that hard.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. On that note, we'll see you guys in another 2 weeks for another episode.
Yeah.